Hi, everybody. I'm sorry, I was locked into the groove of that song. You got the fire inside. We have to petition Amanda to give us our career camp playlist because it is so good. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really honored to have you all here together for our Explore Pathways with Capital Group. I want to kick off this event by taking a moment just to acknowledge everybody who's here for the first time joining us today. We're so grateful that you're here with us. And it's going to be a full and packed hour. So I'm going to turn things over to Mickey.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mickey, a Teen Programs Manager at Step Up, and I will be co-facilitating today with Hollis. So get settled in. And as you do that, we'd love to see a hello in the chat. Let us know what team you're on and what you're most excited to gain from today's session.
Cool. So today is day 4 of career camp in the first Explore Pathways week. And we cannot believe we're already at day 4. It's been really lovely getting to know you all and seeing your beautiful faces and learning about all these different career opportunities. It's really been a fun time. And today's theme is Throwback Thursday. So you can continue showing your spirit. It's not too late by coming into the session with clothes and hairstyles and toys. This throwback look, high ponytail is giving 90s vibes. So we want to see what you've got going on. And don't forget that there's going to be a prize for the teen and young adults with the most points individually and the team with the most points collectively at the end of career camp. So you can win by attending sessions, engaging in the session. So in those breakout groups, know that your breakout facilitators are taking notes of who's participating, what's being said. But those are ways that you can win points. I'm going to turn things back over to Mickey so she can remind us what we need to do for today's session.
All right, thanks, Hollis. So before we officially get started, I'm going to just share a few reminders. First, everyone take a moment and adjust your display name to reflect 3 things. First, your name, of course, your role. So if you're a teen, a young adult, a mentor, or Step Up staff, and the pronouns you use. And you can look at the screen to see what I mean, and look at our boxes. Some of us have already changed it. But it's especially important for you to put down your role, mentor, teen, young adult, staff, so we can sort you into the right breakout room later. And we'd love to ask that everyone who is able to turn those cameras on, because we really want to see your face. It helps us to have that feeling of being together, even though we're not physically together. It really helps create that feeling and supports us in creating an intimate, safe, and brave space for everyone. And just as a reminder, all of our mics will be on mute until we go into the breakout session. So feel free to, talk it up in the chat. We want to see your positive comments, your reactions to anything in that chat box. And additionally, if you need any support with anything, any tech questions or just questions in general, you can message Riley in the chat.
So you all have heard, sorry, did I cut you off, Mickey?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay, so you all have heard this spiel, but I'm going to say it again. Our Pathways Week of Careers Camp is really your opportunity to get an inside look into various roles and industries and companies that you're interested in exploring. And so our goals for today is that you express your voice among your peers. And when we go in those breakouts, we want to hear from you and hear from those mentors, because that will increase your beliefs in your ability to blaze your own trail, to shape your own path, which is what we're wanting you to experience. You're going to get to connect and listen to and learn from company experts to really build your knowledge of these different paths and also become aware of professional opportunities that are available. Honestly, there are so many jobs that I, at my big age, did not know existed just from being a part of these sessions. So really take advantage of that time. So let's go into what our session is going to look like today. We are really grateful to be able to partner with Capital Group and take a look at some of the dynamic career paths available there. And we're going to start our day together with a fun game of this or that. Then our special guest speakers are going to tell us more about what it's like working at Capital Group and some of the opportunities there. We'll hear from them, engage in something, and then we're going to go into our breakout groups for some some small group mentoring and networking, and we're going to end the session with reflections. So be prepared to share what you're hearing from everybody. You know, we're going to throw you a poll to get a sense of what you're taking away, and then we'll wrap up. So that is our session for today. Mickey is going to lead us through this and that.
Muted. All right, so let's get into our quick icebreaker. Again, have 4 questions for you today. We're going to be playing a game of this or that. And this particular icebreaker will help you see if you're better at working with people one-on-one or better with people in groups. Okay, so as we go through, kind of look and see, am I picking more A or am I picking more B? And we'll talk about that at the end. So first question. Do you like communicating in person or on the phone, like you're going to pick up and actually talk to somebody or talk to them in person, or making a presentation to a group of people? So A, communicating in person or on the phone with people, or B, making that presentation to a room full of folks. Okay, seeing lots of A. You want to get on the phone, or you want to talk to somebody one-on-one or in the group? Okay, good. Question number 2. Do you like A, referring people or helping people connect? I love connecting my people together, so I'm more of an A. Or B, guiding a group discussion. B, guiding a group discussion. I'm actually kind of both of these. What about y'all? Okay, I'm seeing some variety there, A and B. This one feels harder for me to pick. Okay, next question, question 3. Okay, how about this? Would you rather A, imagine and create new ideas, or B, training and designing new events? So more of the ideation of the thing, or more of like the event to launch the thing or talk about the thing with other people? Ooh, both. We can't decide. Love it.
We
Okay,
love that.
question. I know.
Yeah.
And then question 4. Do you like A, gathering information by observing things, or B, taking the lead by being a pioneer? Okay. A and B. Lots of A's. All right. Great work. Love seeing all the answers. And this is mostly for you. So if you chose mostly A's, then you work best with people one-on-one. And if you chose mostly B's, then you work best in groups. And again, this is one of those things that knowing this about yourself can help you determine where your strengths lie, where you're going to thrive, and how to choose your career.
Thank you for that, Mickey. That was so much fun. I feel like I fall right between the middle a lot of times. But now I'm thrilled to welcome Ariel Mendel and the Capital Group team. Thank you so much, you all, for joining us. We're really looking forward to hearing more about your journeys. Y'all give Ariel some love in the comments.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes,
great.
we can.
Great. So I want to give you guys an overview about Capital Group. You can just advance the slide, please. Okay, so Capital Group Organization is one of the world's largest independent investment managers. We were founded in 1931 in Los Angeles. We're privately held by associates, $2.5 trillion in assets under management, and there's approximately 52 million investors served. So a little bit of a background about Capital Group, just if you can advance the slide, please. So we have a global reach, 31 offices across North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. So you can see we're a lot of footprint around or across the globe. And we serve several different clients: individual investors, financial advisors and intermediaries, institutions and consultants, and these would include corporations, governments, pensions and retirement plans, and nonprofit organizations. In addition, high net worth individual clients and families through Capital Group's private client services, and also our insurance companies. Can you advance the slide, please? Our mission: improving people's lives through successful investing. Our vision: we will be the investment manager of choice for our investors and those who serve them. Can you advance the slide? So we have several core values. So I will go through them: integrity, respect for individuals, long-term focus, collaboration, accountability, rigorous analysis, consistency, and humility. So these are our core values across all of our associates at Capital Group. So yeah, we really look forward to being a part of this mentor program, and I'll turn it back to Hollis.
Thank you so much. So joining us, we now have Sophia Locke, social media producer, Melissa Phillips, and also who's Capital Delivery Lead. We'd love to hear a little bit more from each of you about your roles at Capital. We're really excited to learn more about the social media lifecycle and our activity in just a little bit. So Sophia, we can start with you.
Great.
Hi, can you guys hear me all right? Great.
We got you.
Hello,
We can hear
everyone. Hi, I'm Sophia Locke. I'm a social media producer at Capital Group, and I just wanted to give everyone an intro of why we use social media at Capital Group and how we use it. So Capital Group is striving for a unified global presence in communications, brand, marketing, and sales. And social media is a key internal and external facing channel across all Capital Group's regions of business. Social media's a large presence around the globe makes this channel critical for Capital's success in sales, corporate communication, marketing, recruitment, and more. And on the right, you see these icons that represent all the social channels that Capital Group is on. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you go to the next slide, this is really the four main uses that we use for social media. One, it's a place where Capital Group advertises a wide variety of products and services. So just by raise your hand, how many of you seen a Facebook ad, or when you're on Instagram scrolling, you've seen Instagram ads? You can tell because it has a sponsored or ad on it. Capital Group does social media advertising as well, and we target our audience this way. So not only do we do organic posting on our social channels, we also do social media advertising. And number two, in support of corporate communications efforts and brand messaging. So we use our social media channels to support corporate communications, announcements, company news, job postings, any of those types of communications we would use for social media for. Number three, we have global product and service messaging. So we are in markets around the globe, Asia, Europe, Canada, Australia, and of course the US. And we use social media to reach all of our audiences across the globe. And then finally, the fourth reason is for advocacy programs from Capital Group associates. And that means not only are we posting from the Capital Group social media accounts, we're also having Capital Group associates post on our behalf for us. So we have a content library where our associates choose posts to post to their LinkedIn accounts, and that way we can leverage our associates too in spreading the word for us. And then if you go to the next slide, this is a view of all the different social media channels that we have currently. So in the US, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And in Canada, they have a LinkedIn account. In Asia Pacific, Asia has a LinkedIn account, Japan has a Twitter account, and Australia has a Facebook account. and Europe has a LinkedIn account as well. And something exciting that we're doing this year is we're combining the LinkedIn accounts from US, Asia, Canada, and Europe. Rather than having 4 separate LinkedIn accounts, we're going to combine them into one global social media account and use geo-targeting to send posts to each of those countries so that only the people in those countries can see the posts that were directed to them. And that way, that's part of our global social media strategy to be one unified Capital Group. And with that, I'll hand it off to Melissa.
Thanks. Could you advance the slide? So I wanted to talk a little bit about the process for a social media post. One of the things that's interesting, because we sell investments, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, retirement plans. And so we usually work directly with financial advisors or the big firms that also sell these investments. And we don't work as much with the individual investor. We do try to have a brand that reaches out to individuals, but we really try to target a specific audience. So that's a big part of when we're starting to think about how we're planning. We think about a content calendar. And for any social media role, you really want to have a content calendar where you're looking out either over the next month, the next 3 months, or the full year to plan important dates, set priorities for your own content, and also find those opportunities to catch on to a trend, if it's Halloween or, back to school, or when people are trying to choose their health plan choices. So there's all these different times of the year that, tax time, that people might want to hear about our products. And so we try to make sure that we're planning for all of those different times. And then we have a team of writers that work at Capital Group, and they all write about different products and services that we offer, and they write for the audience that we're trying to reach. So when we create an article or a landing page or a new special digital property, we come up with a social post, social ideas for how to appeal to the different social channels. And then we work with a team of designers and copywriters who help us to appeal to these different channels. Some people are better on Facebook, some people are better on LinkedIn, some people are better on YouTube. And so the writers come up with the ideas, and then we work with the social channel to help us create images or create graphics, like cool charts. A lot of times we'll create market charts that people really like because it tells you a story with a graphic. And then our media team kind of creates a strategy around it. Some of the posts are what they call organic, which means that we just post them like anyone else posts social content for free. And then some are paid, where we create a media plan and we work with the different channels to get priority and target these different audiences, like I said, financial advisors, pension plans, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to hand it over to Ingrid for the next step in the process.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Hopefully. Okay. I'm Ingrid, as Melissa said. I am, you might have seen on the title, it said delivery lead. That's also known as project manager, which might be a little bit more familiar to you guys at maybe ad agencies or other companies. We call it delivery lead because there's a couple more things that we do in our role, but essentially it's a project manager role. So where I come into play is after they've talked about editorial content and planning, I come in and hand off a template to them to be able to put all of this content into one place so that as it's moving around from the writer to the copy editor to the designer, there's one place where it's housed, one area of which it's reviewed, and that is the template. Every project, including social media, has to have two things to get started: the schedule and a system of which everyone kind of hands off, to the copy editor, to the designer, which is called a project management system. So what I do is I hand off the template, they start working on it, Melissa will put in her content, the designer will put in their charts, and when it's ready, they'll put it into the project management system. So that way they can turn it into a proof for the stakeholders to review. Now, all along this process, again, I have given them a schedule and told them you have this many days to write, you have this many days to copy edit, this many days to design, etc. So now it goes into the project management system for the copy editor to review, then the designer, and I'm kind of cutting it short here, then the designer, after it's all packaged up, we have our copy and design, I move it to the stakeholders, essentially people that have to take a look at it and make sure that it's perfected and it's said correctly to the right audience, to the right product or whatever business objective we're talking about. They take a look and they may provide changes, they may not, but hopefully they'll sign off. From there, what we do is we put it back into the project management system into kind of a different stage, which is essentially legal review and compliance review. So this is sometimes across the board, other companies might have, others there is no legal. In most cases there will be, and they take a look to make sure that we're saying everything correctly, that we may have to change some wording. They take a look, we come back, we review changes, make any changes, and then from there, after it's perfected, legal has taken a look, we then record keep it. Now that's going to be a big difference in social media than you might see in other companies. Other companies, they may not record keep their things, but because we are a finance company, we're definitely going to record keep those things just in case anything happens. We have the record of legal and compliance reviewing and signing off on our work. So there's a lot of record keeping involved in social media where it might not be in others. But that is essentially one of the final stages for me, is just record keeping it, making sure that it's going, it's getting, I guess you could say, digitally filed correctly. And then from there, after all that's complete, legal has officially approved and signed off. Then I get an ID that they give us for that post. And then I hand it off to Sophia, who kickstarted on this process, with that ID for tracking purposes so that she could work on deploying it. Sophia, if you want to kind of just talk about that last stage on execution. Thank you, guys.
Sure. Yeah, my team, the social media team, is part of the media strategy team, and we receive the final approved content and we post on social media across all of our channels and all those icons and handles that we talked about once we get the final approved content.
I will say it sounds like a lot, and it is because we work at a financial firm. We have a lot of what they call compliance and regulations that we have to meet. And so not all brands have this. Some brands are more careful than others and will have stages of review before they post social. But for us, we have to have legal review and compliance review. We have to file it different places. So it's more complicated, I think, for us than maybe in other roles. I mean, social media is so easy, right? Anybody can do it. But for us, we make it really, really complicated. But the idea behind it and the creativity behind it is very similar to, your organic creativity. Like if you have those impulses to be a writer or designer, it's a nice type of role. So just wanted to add that because this does, it seems like a lot.
That was great. Thank you. I really appreciate, we all do that overview of what it's like to work at Capital Group and your roles. And later in your breakouts, you'll get to meet more Capital Group mentors who can share their career journeys with us. But I want to pass things over to our mentors who will be leading the activity about social media.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed your breakout groups. So now is when we hear from a representative from each group. So let's start with my group. Priscilla, would you like to speak for our group?
Yes. So in our group, we got a lot of advice, really helpful advice. And one of my questions was like advice for our teens that are going into college. And our lady said that it's just about exploring and like taking every single chance to say yes to any opportunity that comes up because you never know. You may find a career that you're interested in. And then Arka asked a question. I don't really remember how she phrased the question. I'm sorry, Arika. But the ladies also gave some more advice about just, I guess it's just like a continuation of just exploring everything, every single opportunity that comes up in your way.
Very good. Yes, that's exactly what we were talking about. A lot of exploration, a lot of trying new things, realizing you may end up with something very different from the major that you choose, especially in your freshman year. So maybe even wait on that. So thanks, Priscilla. Hollis, how about your group?
Brittany, would you be open to sharing some of the reflections and wisdom we got in our breakout?
Sure. I hope I kind of remember everything, but the ladies shared about the roles that they are currently doing. We learned a lot more about what is happening on the PR side, which was really exciting because I also work in PR. Something that I think is like a through line for all careers that anybody can take is that one of the young ladies who works in the sales department was talking about the qualities that are necessary to thrive in sales, which is to be driven, to be motivated, to be a strong communicator, and to really be like a team player and be a great collaborator. So I thought that was really impactful to learn. So yeah.
Yay. Thanks, Brittany. Yeah, it's nice to know you don't have to know it all, do it all yourself. Being a good collaborator is more important because you're going to work with a team where everybody brings their knowledge. So that's really good advice. Let's go to Kyra's group.
Fiona, you ready to share what we discussed?
Yeah, so I can share what we discussed. So I think, the question that I had asked the mentors was like, what are some skills that you've learned along the way within your career? And what really stood out to me was, they mentioned about collaborating with other people, with communicating, with kind of showcasing yourself and your personality, sort of what makes you different from everyone else, and also being able to advocate for yourself. Because those are very important, like skills that, you will learn along the way within your career.
Yes, Fiona, very good. Yes, learning to advocate for yourself goes a long way in moving up the ladder and moving to different positions. So another huge gem of advice there. And Tracy, your group.
The lovely Nicole, take it away.
So in our group, the ladies were awesome. They were talking about their positions that they're in and the departments that what their departments do. And one of the ladies did say, you can graduate with a certain type of degree, but you don't have to keep yourself in that box. You can, everything kind of blends where you are able to use your degree and use those skills doing something else. It doesn't have to be like just like a social media degree or just like design. And then also we touched on like networking and how important it is to, make those connections with people. So, because, someone that you have a job with 5 years ago might be able to help with an opportunity 5 years later somewhere else.
Yeah, very good, Nicole. Amazing. Yes. That networking thing, it starts in college, maybe even before, and will be a part of your career for your entire life. So important. Thank you so much for sharing those gems. And thank you, mentors, for sharing all of those amazing gems. So we are so glad that you joined us today, and we hope you were able to learn and explore different career paths and network. I know we were sharing some, LinkedIn in our small group. So again, mentors, you can share your LinkedIn profile if you'd like. And teens and young adults who are old enough to have your LinkedIn, you can also, connect with mentors there. And a little surprise is that Capital Group is going to be giving all of the participants today a little gift. They have these super cool notebooks, I believe, right? Yes. So we probably can't see it because of your background, but they are so cool. And so one of those will be going out to all of you. So remember to fill out your Step Up intake form so that we can get that mailed out to you. Capital Group will mail that out to you. So make sure that you filled that out because we need your information, and that's how we will get these little goodies from each session to you. So now I know it's so thoughtful. I'm so excited. It's nice to, I will never turn down a good notebook, right? You can never have too many. I'm about to start a new one. I'm always so happy when I have one and I don't have to go out and buy it. So I love getting them as gifts. So now we are going to move on to our poll questions. So we have a couple of poll questions for our teens and young adults. So you should see the first one pop up now. So mentors, you don't need to worry about this, but our teens and young adults, if you will fill out that poll, question 1, and then when you're done with that, question 2 will pop up on your screen. We love having your feedback. It really helps us to improve our programs, to keep giving you what you want and need. And I'll pass it to Hollis for our announcements.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for being here on our last day of Explore Pathway sessions. We loved having you all week in the variety of sessions to learn about jobs and career opportunities. We do want to see you tomorrow for our closing session and award ceremony. That's going to be at 12 o'clock West Coast time, 2 p.m. Central, and 3 o'clock on the East Coast. And then again, we really need you to fill out and complete the Step Up intake form so that you can get the giveaway and prizes mentioned. You should have gotten an email from your counselor, and we're also going to put it in the chat right now so you can open it, fill it out if you have not already. And then remember that you can always reference your welcome packet for anything that you're missing, that I've just discussed. So that is our announcements for today.
Oh, and Hollis, did you see in the chat, we got that career camp playlist. So y'all, if you want to jam out to the songs that we've been starting each session with and closing sessions with, then grab that Spotify playlist right now.
Done and done. Clicking on it now. Clicking on it now.
So save that. So thank you to all our mentors. This is a wrap for day 4 of Career Camp. Thanks so much to our amazing friends and mentors at Capital Group. And as always, thank you to our teens and young adults for choosing to be here with us today and being a part of Step Up. It's your engagement that always inspires us. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at our Explore Pathways closing session and celebration. So see you tomorrow.